As I told you, the talks have been very fruitful, and it has been very promising. And we are hoping to work together, as we have started already. And we are preparing very well the presidency, that is the chairmanship of South Africa, which is very much awaited by the continent. And therefore, we hope that Swiss will take us a step further in the implementation of our program.
Thank you very much. We'll take just two questions. I think that has spoken to a lot. I'll take Peter, and I'll take Kaya. You'll be the last one.
Chairman, Peter Fabricius from the Daily Maverick. The theme and the objective of silencing the guns by 2020, you have virtually one year to do that. How is the AU and how the AU together with South Africa practically going to try and manage that objective?
C'est vrai, l'objectif est très ambitieux. Nous sommes à un an de 2020, mais l'essentiel, c'est les étapes qui sont franchies et celles qui sont appelées à être franchies. Aujourd'hui, n'eût été les nouvelles menaces comme le terrorisme et la criminalité transfrontalière, il n'y a plus de conflit entre États africains. C'est vrai, nous faisons face au défi du terrorisme, qui est un défi mondial. Là également, les États africains se sont organisés, l'Union africaine s'est organisée, et nous travaillons ensemble. Nous avons mis en place un fonds de la paix qui commence à prendre de l'épaisseur. Et donc nous avons les outils nécessaires en solidarité avec la communauté internationale pour y faire face.
It is true that the theme is very ambitious, and we are just 1 year away from 2020. But what is essential, what is important, is the steps that we have already taken, and then the rest of the steps that we have to take in order to be able to deal with this theme. Because we have, if you look at the new threats that are there, terrorism, transnational crime, and we hardly have any interstate conflict. But what we have is issues that we have to deal with, the challenges that we are facing, and then the challenges at the peace and security level, even at the international level. But we need to work together in order to overcome these problems. We have the necessary tools. We have a peace fund which is growing in stature, and we believe that with the solidarity of the international community, we'll be able to forge ahead.
On ne peut réellement taire les armes que par le développement. On ne peut taire les armes que par le développement économique et social. Il faut trouver de l'emploi aux jeunes, il faut faire la promotion des femmes, il faut changer les données économiques et sociales du continent. C'est auquel nous travaillons, c'est la meilleure façon de tarir à la source toute velléité au recours aux armes.
It is true that we cannot silence the guns without development, without the economic and social development, without providing jobs for our youth, without empowering women, giving them the necessary tools. We need the changes that we have to bring about in order to change the state of affairs. The only way to do it is to dry up the sources of these funding that is taking place, that will give rise to these terrorists to have arms and weapons and everything to carry out their activities.
On ne peut pas également taire les armes sans la bonne gouvernance, sans la justice, sans l'équité. Donc la bonne gouvernance sur le plan politique, sur le plan économique, sur le plan social sont essentielles pour la paix, la stabilité et donc la bonne gouvernance, donc le développement du continent.
It is true that we cannot also silence the guns without good governance, without justice, without equity. And good governance means at the political level, at the economic and social level, and obviously for peace and stability on the continent, we need good governance.
Donc à l'occasion de cette année qui est mise sous ce thème, je crois que nous aurons l'occasion, sous le leadership du président Ramaphosa, de faire des avancées sur ces différents domaines pour rendre effectif que les armes se sont tues.
So, with the theme of the year and with the leadership of President Ramaphosa, we'll be able to forge ahead, we'll maybe make progress in those areas and thus silence the guns.
Thank you very much, Excellency.
It's Kailash here from ENCAG South Africa. Mr. Chair, how would you describe 2019 for the continent? Since you are the AU, I mean, we've seen elections, but we still have a number of challenges. But how do you just summarize 2019 as the year that will pass?
2019 est une année quand même de très grandes réalisations. Nous avons lancé quand même l'un des projets phares, qui est l'EFCFTA, qui sera le plus grand marché sur le plan commercial du continent. 2019 a également vu quand même la solution ou le début de solution d'un certain nombre de problèmes. Prenons le cas du Soudan, où il y a eu un changement pacifique, où il y a eu des négociations qui ont permis à ces pays d'avoir une transition pendant laquelle les jeunes et les femmes ont joué un rôle extrêmement important. Nous avons eu également quelques élections dans des pays qui se sont globalement bien passées. Donc, malgré les défis qui sont là, je pense que l'année 2019 a été positive et nous pensons renforcer davantage ces acquis en 2020.
Yes, 2019 has been a year of achievements also. We have made some realizations and achievements. For example, the flagship project of the Continental Free Trade Area, that will become the biggest market of the continent for trade in the continent. We have also found solutions, or the beginning of solutions to a number of problems. For example, in the Sudan, we have had a peaceful transition, and the negotiations have taken place, and the transition is there, with the help and the major role played by youth and women in that country. There have been elections that have been organized in a number of countries, and which have been organized in a very good manner. We do have challenges, but on the overall, 2019 has been a positive year, and we believe that with 2020, we shall make more progress.
Nous avons des défis au Soudan du Sud, nous avons des défis en Libye, nous avons des défis dans le Sahel, et dans tous ces cas, nous sommes en train de travailler, et avec l'implication effective, notamment en Libye. Nous avons exigé que l'Union africaine joue un rôle important, parce que 8 ans après, le processus qui est en cours a montré ses limites. Il faut nécessairement que l'Union africaine, sous l'égide du président Ramaphosa, puisse s'investir davantage pour la résolution de la crise en Libye, par exemple.
We do have a number of challenges, like, for example, in South Sudan, Libya, in the Sahel, but we are working on these issues in order to find the solution. We are trying to involve the African Union more. Like, for example, in Libya, we have seen the important role that the African Union has to play. We have seen the process that has been there for the past 8 years, but it has not made any progress. We hope that the African Union, under the leadership of President Ramaphosa, will be more investing more in Libya, so that we can find a solution to the problems there.
Thank you. Last one.
My name is Ndebo. I'm with the SABC. Your Excellency, in your discussion with the Executive Chair of the AU, you spoke about deepening the transformation of the AU institutions. And one would think of the Pan-African Parliament. The Pan-African Parliament has been there, but even today it hasn't been given the legislative power. And once it's given the legislative power, it will be in a position to ensure that there is good governance in the continent. What is causing the delay? And maybe a second here, my final question. Would you concede that by the end of 2020, given the challenges that you cited, Africa won't be in a position to can say indeed silence?
Ce serait trop beau si on pouvait arrêter définitivement les armes à la fin de 2020. Le plus important, c'est qu'on y travaille. Pour ce qui concerne les organes, il est prévu en 2020, dans le cadre de la réforme institutionnelle de l'Union africaine, qu'une revue sera faite sur l'ensemble des organes que nous avons mis en place, y compris le Parlement panafricain. Il est bien vrai que jusqu'à là, il a un rôle consultatif. Et la tendance est progressivement de lui accorder une compétence législative en tant que telle. Ces questions seront soumises aux États membres et je suis certain que nous allons nous acheminer vers une plénitude de pouvoir au Parlement africain pour qu'il joue effectivement son rôle.
It will be too good and too beautiful if we say that by the end of 2020 we will have silenced all the guns. But the essential thing is that we are working on it, we are endeavoring in order to ensure that we can silence the guns. As regards the organs, within the framework of the reform that are being underway in the African Union, we are to review all the various organs of the African Union, including the Pan-African Parliament. Because for the time being, the Pan-African Parliament has a consultative power, but we hope by working further with the member states approving, they will have more legislative power, so that at one time, then they will have the full potential of legislative authority.
Thank you very much.
All right, so we'll come out of that there now. That was the AU Commission chairperson, Moussa Faki, who's being hosted by the President of South Africa, President Ramaphosa, speaking just outside to the media a short while ago, and we're leaving that for the time being. Now, US President Donald Trump says that he has not made a trade deal with China yet because he believes